Fielder's done a nice job since Sorber's gone down of really being that standard bearer, if you will, in the post, standing guys up. Really had to change how he plays his game on the defensive end without Thomas Sorber behind him helping.
Fielder gets a touch, leave it for Mack, the transfer from Harvard, who had a solid season in his first year with the Hoyas. Now Epps back to Fielder, find the main man, Peavy, averaging 17 a game this season, shows off the range.
Ways of plays in basketball, to me, are walking to a guy with your palm straight up in the air. That is just the worst look. That's the worst move in basketball. Can't have it.
Mack quickly back on the floor, 4 minutes into this first half. Peavy gets past Rivera, pulls, and hits again.
He loves that shot. They're going to need more than that. I mean, Curtis Williams Jr. is also a prolific shooter from downtown. He gets it going. He can make some shots, but he's got to get touches.
Peavy. Oh! Micah!
You remember, DePaul lost 39 in a row in league play. Their first win was against Georgetown to snap that.
Peavy, the swipe and score.
Georgetown, they're playing a ton of minutes. You fight your way back down 15, you're going to be gassed. So that 4-minute mark is huge for them.
Way to keep the footing, and Peavy makes the defense pay. They got a 7-0 run. What was a 15-point lead for DePaul has completely evaporated with under 2 to play in the first half. Back to the zone look for the Blue Demons. Chance to tie or take the lead again for Georgetown. Peavy looking for the lead, and he's got it.
It was just as good a pass that it was just a better setup by Benson to get that ball.
Peavy really picked it up. Patient for the bucket.
A lot of pressure on him, a lot of weight on his shoulders.
And a steal. Peavy got in front. Cookies and milk. Goes coast. Makes an impact. Blocker. Kick it. Gone. A three. Too strong. Peavy forcing the issue. Olay to the rim.
Timeouts, fellas.
No
Gotta go
timeouts
fast.
indeed. Final minute in this first round matchup. They're not moving with all that much urgency yet. Peavy at the top. Cross. Draws the eyes of a couple. Peavy gets inside and a chance for three.
Micah hits the game's first bucket, a three.
Yeah, and those little slip screens right there. You got to be talking to your teammate and stay with your guy if he doesn't make any contact. Missed opportunity defensively that DePaul capitalized on there.
Sorber has missed the last 6 games for Georgetown with a foot injury. He had surgery last week, and since he's been out of the lineup, like right there, Georgetown.
Opportunity for C.J. Gunn. The defensive discipline and the communication for Georgetown defensively has to improve.
Georgetown is, other than the start to this game, a vastly improved defensive team from year 1 under Ed Coolidge.
Well, they only had 3 wins last year, have 12 right now, and hoping to make it 13 against the Hoyas today.
10 up and 10 down, just over 15 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Micah Peavy. Oh, he's in his bag all around.
Shooters. Little 2-3 zone here from DePaul. Ball's got to touch the Big East area, folks, either off the pass or off the bounce.
Both teams could sprinkle in some zone over the course of this afternoon's game. Oh my goodness, Peavy just cut through the zone like a knife through presence.
I like it.
What a pocket pass to Fielder from Epps. Shots up and off the iron. Put back in by Peavy.
I mean, Micah Peavy.
Points, Fonz, have gotten a little harder to come by for both teams.
Yeah, Georgetown's raised their defensive level, and they are not allowing any dribble penetration to the middle. And it's hard to break free as Micah Peavy continues to pressure from Georgetown has risen to an elite level. It's one of those funny games, though, because as well as Georgetown's played defensively over that stretch, you would think they'd be up 10.
Micah Peavy throws.
Talked about earlier, that's what he brings to the game and can bring it each and every night. And for DePaul to win this game, he's got to continue to be a plus on the offensive end.
Well, speaking of plus,
does a beautiful job of cutting from the strong side, from the weak side to the strong side, and the ability to be able to just stop on a dime and rise and knock that down. Impressive. Use that zone again. Got to attack that Big East area.
oh, Peavy somehow held onto it, and it goes around the world and in.
Boy, if you can get
in the lane, Trainer with the right hand. Everything but the finish.
Yeah, he shorted that one.
Peavy. And Georgetown wanted a goaltend, and yes, bullseye.
He'll dribble to his left, force the defender to take a step back, creating space to be able to knock that one down.
Largest lead of the day for DePaul.
Fielder had a deep post position. They've got to get it to him.
Peavy gets to his spot.
Georgetown has taken 5 threes. Villanova not a single attempt from 3. This one from the elbow, and Peavy connects. Since 2005. And there's Peavy with an interception. This kid is big time.
It's incredible.
Burks. Crossover. Off the dribble. That's short. Battles for it. There's Fielder. There's that rebounding you just talked about. Peavy. Bingo.
Hustle.
6. Not that they're electric fast, but when compared to the Wildcats.
Right.
Rickus is off. So it's interesting because you're bringing something up for a bottom 15 tempo team in the nation that's a little different from who they are. As Peavy was left open and hits.
Has looked on a variety of levels.
Poplar had that altered by Mack. Villanova now 2 for 15 from downtown. Georgetown hasn't led by more than 5. That changes with Peavy.
From Villanova.
They made 2 threes the entirety of the first half. They just made 2 in about 30 seconds.
Well, again, almost 40% of their offense, 39% of their offense comes from the three-point line. That's 16th most in the country.
Watch out for Micah Peavy. A win here applies pressure to Xavier in the standings. Musketeers are at Butler tomorrow. They're at 11-7 in the league. They have at Butler and then Providence, trying to get in that top 5. Not to mention their NCAA tournament hopes, trying to keep those at large hopes alive. But Peavy has...
As Cam Jones adds another 2. Ahmed Freed back in studio with Jordan Cornette and Matt McCall. We have lost John Fanta and Tariq Turner. We don't know where they are. They left.
Fanta's probably signing some autographs.
No, they're right there. We just have lost communication with their microphone
and their overall profile. But, you know, the net ranking is okay, 52. And 19-10 is good, but 21-10 sounds a lot better. But, you know, you're legal at that point, right?
Yeah. There's Micah Peavy with
what you're on the court for and just doing that to perfection. He really hones in on that and gets the guys to embrace what their role is.
This is Peavy. Micah Peavy connects. We have
top 10 player in the Big East, and I'd be surprised if he's not an all Big East selection as a good.
Interesting to track the paint points for both teams here tonight as Caravan gets stripped by Jaden Epps. Malik Mack with Peavy able to get solo ball up in the air, and
Liam McNeely has really shown people that he is multi-dimensional and not just shooting the ball or driving to the basket, but being able to use both hands, Alex.
You can speak to this. Coming off injury, sometimes it gives you a bit of a second wind down the stretch.
A little bit. You can see things. You're almost like a coach those 5 weeks that he was off. He's seeing the game a little bit differently.
Peavy again from the size out.
And when you're struggling offensively and you're trying to get your crowd into it, those plays will get you going a little bit, creating offense with your defense. Man.
To be the successor to some of those greats in the last couple of years.
It's hard. Sometimes when you hear stuff, you read things, social media, normal media, it's the expectations you start to put on yourself aren't, they're
out for the rest of the season-ending surgery on that foot injury he sustained at Butler about a week and a half ago. That's along with Caleb Williams, who's out day to day.
And they lose, obviously, you know what Sorber means, but Caleb Williams is a terrific young player, great size, active hands defensively.
Going to get back to Peavy here to start the half. They're going to
sustaining those leads and that good play has been difficult for them.
UConn at the foul line has extended the lead. It's their largest margin of the night. Perfect. 12 for 12. It's an and one on the other end. As Fielder fouls out early in this half. Burks on the verge of that too is Peavy.
To see how you handle yourself, how you handle your opportunity.
make smart shots.
Because a coach, even if you make that, will probably pull you aside later and say, that's not what we need.
You want to, it's not a trustworthy shot, whether it goes in or not.
Peavy, we'll talk about trouble.
Good defense there by Williams on Caravan.
Stewart cuffed it up. Numbers for the Hoyas. Lost pass. Peavy the jam on this season, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The Huskies scuffling over the second half of this season. Peavy's going to add to his total tonight.
Absence of Thomas Sorber right away. Kalkbrenner an offensive rebound. McAndrew can't hit on the reload, and it's an empty trip for the Jays.
Sorber tied for #1 in the conference in rebounds, so certainly a big void there.
Peavy's hot hand.
He's an electric athlete in the open floor, and Ashworth does such a good job of throwing the ball up the floor, and Neal showing some stuff.
Peavy steps back off the screen and cans.
Jordan Burks. Daring Burks to shoot threes. He already took one, but you guys planted right in the middle of that lane, trying to help out, deter things at the rim. So Burks is going to have opportunities.
Peavy, hand in his face, doesn't matter.
Sorber, you have to throw the ball into Kalkbrenner and try to exploit Georgetown where they're vulnerable. Ed Cooley said he was worried about their physicality inside.
Well, Peavy can hit from every. Providence made the most of it. Double team comes down, pass is intercepted, and Peavy's out in front of the pack.
Sorber 2 blocks a game, so that's typically an area Sorber would have been there to deter him.
Peavy all the way to the. Peavy off the hesitation all the way through the lane, won't get it to fall. Burks, extra pass. Peavy from the corner on the reload connects.
And another one for Trout.
Here he goes. Short. Peavy works his way into the lane, goes high off the wing.
He supplies little O here. Strong performance against Villanova. It started, though, at the defensive end of the floor. For this entire Providence team, Fernandez set the tone.
Providence took the first meeting between these two teams back on January 25th, a 78-68 decision. Peavy knocks it down. And it's Joseph with another triple. He is scalding hot.
We better call the fire department. Somebody got to hose him off.
Peavy with a jam.
It's an answer to Peavy's drive. Make him go over the top, and there it is.
Peavy picked it off and stopped. It's Fielder who's short, but Peavy, how about the know-how?
As a player, he drove right, he had a little floater, we've seen that right-hand floater, and he threw a lob, help his teammates, get him going.
Peavy got a step. Micah Peavy is a handful.
No question, it's a glass.
Peavy with a spin, that was rejected by Asandico. Peavy got it back, down to 10. Peavy buries it.
He's got him all year. Nice growth in his game.
He's dealt with an injury, he's dealt with some setbacks, but starting to really come on for this team. Peavy, everything has run through him, and why not? He has
more competitive.
Rich Barron off on his first attempt the second half, and here comes Peavy, who had 19 in the opening 20 minutes. Peavy, automatic, 21. Arumse, he corrals and can't stick it. Deflected into the hands of Fielder, just like everything has gone tonight Georgetown's way. Burst with an extra pass to Peavy. It is all Hoyas.
Stop it.
In this second half, the closest Providence has been after 6 straight.
Providence traps on the first pass in, so it's a man-to-man set, run and trap. The first catch.
Good game reset. Both teams are in the bonus. Possession arrow with Georgetown. Hoyas 2 timeouts. Providence with 1. Here is Mack with 8.
Too much with the ball. Get the ball moving.
They get it to Peavy, who's been the lead man tonight, and he delivers again. 26 for Micah. Attacking. He's been the one bright spot with 24 points.
Started the game, now finishing that game as a star. All right, you bring it over, you dribble a little bit, and then you dictate who's going to get the ball at the end of the shot clock.
With 10 on the shot clock, Peavy with an exclamation point and 30
through to 3-8-4-7-0. Micah Peavy with the.
I would agree. And Georgetown going to the zone, making Butler a little hesitant, not playing a lot of force, just passing the ball around for Ruler and got to stop.
Micah Peavy for three. Georgetown bench. He looks like he's in street clothes for the night. Peavy, a three.
6 and 4, and you have to give yourself an opportunity. You just cannot just look at the score and think you're coming back in one possession.
King makes it 14 for 16 from the line for the Butler Bulldogs. Lead is back to 15. Peavy attacking, eyes on the rim, and that's where he.
They chip away and see what a 4-minute mark at and see if you have an opportunity to play.
So he asked for a real long offensive possession. Here we go. Out of that timeout, backdoor Peavy. That was real. That.
Starting to play extremely well, understands what the team wants from him, and he's stepping up to the table.
Micah Peavy called for this ball. He wants Telford. He rises, and he wanted that shot around this program that, hey, we're going to turn it around here. And, again, whether they're willing to admit they've turned a corner or whatever it is, this Butler team, as that goes from
dealing with that, it's tough to win in college basketball without having a league guard play. Understand they have a terrific center and Sober, but you still need guard play.
And if you're Seton Hall, that is how you have to continue to play. Get downhill and attack the basket.
Dual with the last bucket for the Hall, and it's an 8-2 start for Seton Hall on the road.
I'm very impressed with Ariane's defense right now.
There's a steal for Georgetown's Malik Mack, and Epps to Peavy in the corner. Got the three ball to drop.
So when you know that sometimes you're one of those guys where your rotation is kind of hit or miss. There's no real consistency to it. And then now, you know, be that as it may, injuries, no one wants to see those. There's Peavy. They're 5-man setting on-ball screens or getting handoff DHOs and creating contact. And he, right now, is consistently getting space for his guard. Found his man.
Some aggressive defense for Georgetown on this possession. Leads to a bad shot and a transition look for Peavy. And Georgetown now with a third chance opportunity on this possession following the Seton Hall foul on Garway Dual. Not going to walk away with that one. This is Peavy who pulls up, and he gets an extra friendly roll. His three-point shots today. He kicks it out to Felton, that three off the heel. Peavy the rebound for Georgetown.
I'll tell you what, Coleman, Peavy, they're better than me. I'm definitely taking those heat checks. Sometimes people have a tend to rush and force.
Felton tried the high glass, it didn't work, and Peavy on the run out. 2-on-1, Curtis Williams. Peavy misses the layup alley-oop.
And for a one-on-one opportunity for Jalen Swain, and he's been so good the last several games of attacking off the bounce, whether it be to his left or to his right hand.
Peavy straight back to the rim.
Stifling on the Xavier offense. Good move.
Peavy right behind the back. Everything but the finish. Tapped out. Fielder keeps it alive. And Swain with hands on it. But Peavy steps in on the scramble and rattles in the three. Guard. Davion McKnight, 2 fouls. And might have to sit the final 8:19 of this first half. And Mack guarded by Hunter. Speed advantage for Mack. Hunter stays with him, forces him to give it up. Right back to Mack. Extra pass for Peavy. Ooh, got his second three of the night. Everybody standing is Peavy with a thing of beauty. Maddox looking for space. He had Peavy switch off onto him. And Conwell has it stripped by Mack. Peavy playing into the body and soaring for a jam.
Yeah, McKnight tried to do it with one, and if you miss, you're going to foul. Whereas if you try to attack the basketball with 2 hands, you may get a tie-up. Got to use a little bit better technique there.
And we stayed away from that third foul for the first 9 minutes or so. after he sat the back half of the first half.
Middle ball screen handoffs exchanges with Sorber involved have been really good for the Hoyas.
He's stationary on the block. Mack gets backed up by Peavy. Tough left-handed finish. Xavier in the bonus the rest of the way. That was the 17 foul for Georgetown. Just 3 on Xavier in this half. As we approach the 8-minute mark in a game Xavier and Georgetown would really like to have in a response. And what he's meant tonight. He got a nice hand on his way out.
One of the best venues in all of college basketball. The Cintas Center fans are phenomenal.
Peavy, bank shot. He has Peavy's had answers. He's got another.
Miller coming out of the timeout.
Maddox looking like the guy he was against UConn as Peavy. There, we'll go for the series sweep. After beating Villanova on their home floor. A little over a half minute. Peavy a 3, rolls down, and Georgetown.
And Noah, how about it when we went to shoot around? What did they emphasize? Get him touches over and over. And here's another set where they kind of lift everybody to the foul line and let him run to the post.
He skips to Peavy, who goes into the lane.
He was going to play this game with a point guard in name only. There it is.
Back-to-back Butler turnovers. It's Peavy going the other way, and a finger roll finish to give Georgetown. Telford, who's the leading scorer for Butler at 16 a game.
Telford so far is demonstrating patience, though.
6 to shoot. Pick and roll. Sorber. No, what a follow, though, by Micah Peavy.
Doesn't impact him. He's well off the line when he's taking those threes.
Peavy gets the logo, falls away over McCaffrey, and he's got.
You can feel it, can't you? Six.
Peavy has the size on Bizjack, taps in his own miss. Halfway point of the second half.
Screen's got to settle in there and make that play, that handoff.
Mack thought about the 3. Muscles inside against Bizjack. Peavy curls off the screen. Falling away from the mid-range, he connects. Mack lofts it up. No, Tippett is there, though.
Down team's a very good rebounding team. There you go.
Peavy, he's been the accelerator for this Georgetown team.
Something in transition, the edge to get to the bucket. They just make you think about it.
Another turnover. Here comes Peavy. Mack to Peavy. Chip away, but St. John's was up 26 at the half. Turnover here. They've got numbers. Up ahead to Micah Peavy with 2 hands. It's down to 16.
Peavy, shovel pass. Sorber going to work down low, met with resistance from his Sonderco. Peavy, and he gets it to go. The last game at Villanova, and that's now 1,500 career points for Cardette, the Chicago State transfer.
Yeah, Wes Cardette, he really gives him another layer, not just on the offensive side, but defensively, more importantly, with his length and his athleticism. How about that dude? Standing the guy up, hands straight up.
To Peavy. Full flush.
Teeth where the logo is and knock down some of those floaters, those 12 to 15 footers.
Especially to unlock Pierre. He's struggled to score lately.
Yes.
Peavy fades away.
To go to class. I mean, I know there are some people that think they're just professional athletes. They're not. There are parents out there, trust me, making sure that their babies are going to class, and rightfully so. This game is not going to last forever for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, that's a nice roll for Peavy.
At 5 feet, you don't need to dribble it. You know, you catch it, and you just power right back up. The fact that he dribbled it was probably the reason why he lost it out of bounds. Keep it simple.
16 first half points to lead the Hoyas. Peavy's also in double figures with 10. Peavy in trouble.
Peavy, they call his own number. Wow. Kid back. Largest lead of the afternoon for Providence. Peavy. Exploding, and he's swatted. Floyd. And Sorber is there to pick up the loose ball. 6 to shoot. Peavy's got to go. Peavy, long two, got it.
And George, that size would go up and try to do it in the air. Caught it. That's the priority. Gather himself and finished.
Largest lead for Providence. Is it Peavy time? Trying to put Georgetown back on the mountain. 3 off the mark up to Rahim. And the rebound for Peavy.
And that gap is closing now. Georgetown only down 2 in terms of the glass. And
Joseph rolls off the rim. Asomnico unable to get the follow to drop. Curtis Williams back into the game for Georgetown. They need to hurry. Peavy knocks down a 3. There's a foul away from the ball.
Throws out. He's the first person you have to find if you're the Hoyas. And he makes them pay there.
5 players with 9 or more points for Providence. Peavy knocks it down.
Advantage that he had against Mac.
Here's Sorber. High post. Unable to hit. Rebound tracked down by Caleb Williams. Micah Peavy knocks down a 3. Averaging 25 per game coming in.
Illinois showing a little 1-2-2 right now. Take a little time off the clock. Make Georgetown think a little bit. Throw them off their rhythm offensively.
And you notice quickly Thomas Sorber is back in for Georgetown.
Nice cut here by Sorber down low.
Kicks to the wing. Peavy. Mack lines it up. That looked pretty good from here.
Yeah, it sure did. That's okay. That's not backcourt either right there with the tip on the way back. Oh, Neptune is going to blow a gasket over there.
He's already blowing one. As he goes back to Chris Parker to check into the next timeout. The next whistle. Sorber, that's a blind pass, nearly picked off. Peavy recovers and gets to the...
He thought he had to go a little stronger.
Dixon, transition 3 off the mark. Pulled down by Peavy. Peavy gets the return pass from Williams and hits from 3.
Kyle Neptune, who was a foot or so beyond his mark over there.
Just joining us, Wooga Poplar ejected from the game for Villanova early on after throwing a punch.
Sorber not getting the touches underneath.
Peavy, they need it, and they got it.
And then the step away.
You're seeing all the tools in the toolkit from Dixon.
Yeah, you generally see that with a 6'5", 6'3" guard making that type of move.
Warriors looking for the answer, and it's Micah Peavy.
For a whistle, they froze for a split second. Long enough for them to get that long ball to go.
Villanova's three-point shooting has come to life here in the second half.
And so have the fans. I think they recognize that Georgetown is a stop or 2 away from making this even more difficult on Villanova.
Hence, size disadvantage. Kicks to Peavy. Another 3. Does he have the dagger? Oh, a pass that's fumbled by Longino. Georgetown has it in the final minute.
He tried to swipe at him just then, Dixon, didn't he?
Knocked to Peavy. Inbound to Peavy. Peavy driving, floating, got it!
3. Hits it! Troy D'Amico! A huge 3 for DePaul. What a shot. It's 5 out of the rim. Block Benson. Count it. It's a goaltend.
You only need to see him play about 5 minutes to understand that. One of the, if not the best defender, sorry Ryan Kalkbrenner, I know you have something to say about this at Creighton, but one of the best in all of America.
And just over a minute ago, Scott Hayes. He's way off.
And that ball has to move a little bit more than just come down and trying to get it all back in one shot. If you're St. John's, swing the ball. Get to the second and third side, John, meaning throw that to a wing, get it back to the top, throw it to the other wing, see what defense they're in. And if they're in that zone, you got to find that free throw line or that baseline.
10 on the timer. Peavy with a euro. Wow. Micah Peavy. Richmond, the Brooklyn native. And he gave it away. 5th turnover by the Red Storm. Mack with pace. Peavy again. Micah Leotopoulos switches it home. The freshman from Greece.
Lefty Leo. And that's a better shot, wide open. Really nice out of bounds under call.
That is just his 2nd 3 of the season. It's his 4th attempt from beyond the arc. Peavy answers. Interesting is Georgetown retaining control with Sorber on the bench. Getting ready to check back in. Richmond off. Fielder with the board.
How about the glass? Georgetown plus 12.
Peavy! Micah! Haven't been this close since the very early going. Lewis turned it over. Look out below for Peavy. Micah, Peavy again! Thinking about it with Georgetown, they were up 15 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. As Peavy sticks.
Just a little shove enough to alert the officials.
Here's Peavy. Once he gets a little bit of space, he capitalizes. Mike.
That ball handling ability.
Mack attacks off the window. No, Peavy sticks it back.
Diarra brings it down a little bit like Newton. More of a scoring guard, not a point. That was a lazy pass. And look out! Entry, and Johnson knew what to do with it.
Yeah, they do a nice job of staying out of each other's way and allowing Samson Johnson to have some room to work, and it holds off that defense on the weak side if you keep your spacing.
Beautifully done by Diarra. Swinging away, and guess who? Another big Burks.
Yes, they were.
Diarra. Sorber with a quick outlet. Peavy and a foul.
He has some link. So once he gets into your body, doesn't do it the quickest.
Ooh, there's a little give and reversal.
Ball moving for Marquette. Taken away by Peavy. Owens on his hip. Puts it home.
Peavy, and the big key for Georgetown was going to be, can we keep Marquette in a half court without us turning the ball over? That's one way to do it. And Georgetown's not turning it over. The game's become half court, and Marquette's standing around a lot right now.
They could feel the trap lying in wait. Mitchell's gone to the bench. 40 seconds, dead ball means immediate. So Owens getting some major time to shine on the left block. And he gets beaten on that reverse on help. Peavy puts a lot. Only about 7 minutes a game. They've been running about an 8.5-man rotation. He would be that next guy. Hoyas on the run. Just roaring down the floor. Max screaming for the ball. Peavy contested. Fall away. Rattles in.
He is a really fifth-year guy.
He has 8 to lead the game. Quick load. Pulled for 3. No. Tipped weak side. Mack leaking ahead is Peavy. Ahead of the field. Jam! Timeout Marquette.
And they showed that they're in this Big East race to stay.
Peavy. Layup. Timeout Georgetown.
Play against their set defense.
Coach Cooley also talking about a mix of man and zone throughout this game as well, too.
Yeah, we'll see when they have to mix it up. Right now, man-to-man is working great. Xavier has not been able to score the basketball.
Conwell gets a hand on it. Jumper for Peavy. He's got the games.
As I said before, they got to get in transition, but to do that now, that was on a make. It shows you the way they want to play their mentality. They got to get some misses.
Ed Cooley had no problem shying away. He wanted a track meet. He wanted a fast break this as well, too.
It's careful what you wish for sometimes, but right now it's been working to perfection.
Peavy, acrobatic fit.
Kick the basketball. As I said before, that's his game, getting there and being crafty and nifty, but not tonight.
Mack, a confident 3. Williams gets the offensive rebound. Peavy, a drive, a pivot, an attempt, and he cans.
Sean Miller, terrific coach. We'll see if Coach Cooley can counter in the second half.
To your point, Mack with 2 fouls wasn't going to try to do anything down there. It's a 2-point game again. Peavy fading away. Game's leading.
What Xavier can do, maybe get Conwell open for a shot.
Conwell got open, couldn't sink it. Shooting struggles continue for him here in the first. About a 9-second differential between shot and game clock.
Look for maybe to go inside to Sorber or get Michael Peavy with his right hand going downhill.
Lee calls a set from the sideline, 8 to shoot. Peavy,
there he is,
working one-on-one, backing down Foster. Peavy fading away, and like the logo on the
team tonight. And right now, it's looking great for them with 11 minutes and 34 seconds to go.
It's also the 10th turnover for Xavier. Sean Miller said we've got to keep it between 10 and 12 if we want to play our best basketball. Here comes the double on Sorber. The freshman cross-court pass rifles it. Caught by Peavy, steps into the two-point jump shot.
Wow. Got to knock down free throws. And those free throws are huge. They just tied the game. The mentality of players when they see that, it's big time.
Peavy goes baseline, sneaks it in.
College basketball has become, right? The turnover, the portal.
That's what happens when the NCAA does it wrong for so long. When it's time to get it right, you have no judgment or no say-so in what's right because you were wrong for so long.
Well, you got to recruit to get the kids on campus. You have to recruit to keep the kids on campus. And that's one thing I think now that he has the guys that he wants here, as Micah Peavy is Case Coppin State head coach Larry Stewart, he's always coaching. The whole time there, you can just see him talking to Harrison, letting him know what he did wrong. Love how Sorber is so fundamental on both ends of the floor. He doesn't leave his feet unnecessarily. He just puts those arms straight up. And then Peavy
is still in the game. Well, to your point early, he said, listen, you guys don't want to play. I'm going to put guys in who want to.
Caleb Williams picks it up off another Hoya stop. Seton Hall hasn't scored in 3 minutes. And a 7-0 Georgetown run, make it 9-0 as Pete for Seton Hall. Up to 5. 1 left to give with a lot of time left in this first half. They go right inside to Micah Peavy.
How about that? That's sustainable to be able to dribble the ball 4 or 5 times. It's nice to get yourself going, but I don't think you can rely on that against the Georgetown team tonight.
You said this in the Halls game at Rutgers. You talked about their movement.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just you gotta have that continuity.
Peavy. Micah Peavy has been a game changer. Somebody on the floor for Seton Hall. Toomey is 24 years old, and he turns it over. Here's Epps. Up ahead, Peavy. Count it.
Shooter, 36% from 3, and he's taking more this year than in the past because he has to score more this year because of the guys that aren't here, like Baylor Shireman.
That is 30 straight games with a 3. Harvard, averaging 12 points per game, is not eligible to play tonight because of a sore knee. Ashworth misses that long 3.
That was on the logo.
Peavy off the handoff. Peavy from 16. Jumper's good. Away. That was Neal who blocked it away, but Peavy picks his pocket, heads in, and a two-handed jump. It's an 11-point lead. Peavy brings it up for the Hoyas.
I'd say he's done a really good job at the point in this game.
But again, primary ball handler with Malik Mack out tonight with a knee injury. Gets to the rim, count the bucket.
But when you look at 11 bench scoring points for Georgetown,
yeah, it's huge.
And 0
Peavy.
He just seems like a step slow. He may be, I'm not saying tired, but
this guy's everywhere.
Well, Peavy again with another steal and another jam.
Job's not done just because he doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Kalkbrenner hands it. Oh, it's stolen again by Peavy. Third one of this half. Jams it home.
They need
Ashworth, his 3 no good. Sorber comes in with the rebound. Epps has had a big second half. Sorber 8 points. His last field goal was with 9:42 to play in the first half, but he is getting some rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
And now Peavy backs his way down. Peavy with a step off the glass. 74-55, 2:15 to play in the second half. Big East has some big games that are already on the docket for tonight, including this one. This is the one that kicked it off this evening. Under 2 minutes to play. Epps looking in for Fielder. Outside for Peavy for 3. Yes!
Better in transition. They can play more instinctively, more athletically
It's when you get both of these teams in the half court, they have so many new pieces. The chemistry is just not there yet.
Mike Cooley talking to us today about 14 new layers. One of them, Freeman back for more. Back to Chopper Moore. And look at Lampkin fighting for the ball. He's on the deck. Lampkin is down. It's a 5-on-4 for Georgetown. Peavy will take advantage of it. Freshman on the roster.
Well, it depends on what his NIL coffers amount to. You know, unfortunately, a lot of it's coming down to that, what you can afford to pay.
Taylor was 2-18 in the Big East, 9-23 overall a year ago. They've gone really cold from the field. Epps from Fielder. Back to Fielder, a low skidding pass, and then Peavy with a slash and still goal to the half, as is tradition. Carlos passes up an open three and then throws it away in search of Freeman. Hoyas quickly out on the break, but nobody even saw Peavy, and another way. Maybe this is going to be Lucas Taylor's moment and a tough start to his Syracuse career. He's certainly been in the thick of it the last minute or so. Mack. Peavy. Drive and finish for Micah.
Mack, nice crossover. Inside, Micah Peavy with the putback.
And then the run out and dunk.
That's nice shot by Peavy.
Offense easily. The Hoyas must be physical and compete.
Three-pointer off the mark. Peavy taking time to set things up. Gets it back for Sorber. The drive and the easy 3-point ball game. UMBC on an 11-1 run.
The youth right now is showing for the Hoyas the way that they're ending this first half. Not competing.
Well, and there's
to gain experience early in the year to help them in Big East play.
The Hoyas wanting to come out with that great energy on the defensive end, but it looks like UAlbany has came out with it.
Great Danes are going to come at you. They force almost 16 turnovers a game. This is the first major team that they are facing, though, this year. Peavy from the elbow. Got it. Back after the foul. Another opportunity. Trailing it by a point. Long range. Epps. In and out. But now a third try for the Hoyas. Fielder backing his man down and finding the corner. They want to play inside out, and they did. Of the 77 points per game they average. Neither of them on the floor to begin this game. I assume it's likely we're not going to see them here today. He's showing a bit of a zone look. And went 2-1 on that trip. Beat Puerto Rico Mayaguez, Kansas City, and they were down 20 to American. Back down to a 4-point game. Great Danes are staying in that zone.
And that's what they're hoping to get right there. Hoping that they'll force.
Works the floor offensively. And off the miss, Boy has a chance to press the advantage before halftime. Hilder did a good job of saving the possession. And Peavy drains the... Freshman Mulready. Peavy on the drive. That couldn't get any easier. Pick and roll, and good quick hands from Micah Peavy. He'll pay it off himself. On the fadeaway, no good for Briggs. Another rebound. This is gone from competitive ball game early to full-size blowout right now.
You know, this Seahawk ball club, they aren't going away. And you touched on it earlier. They're older, they're mature, they play an incredibly tough schedule, so they're not surprised by anything they're seeing tonight. Defensively, they bring it. They're mixing up their defenses right now. They're in the matchup zone. They go full court pressure to a matchup zone just to throw the Hoyas off a little bit, and they'll go back to the man-to-man.
Peavy catches in.
On a senior and upperclassman-laden ball club, the best way to get time is to do all the little things, and that's what Fitch has done. Set screens, run hard, get tip-ins, play with an awful lot of energy.
Here's Peavy. Nifty move off the window. 2 to shoot. Here's Mack. Short offensive rebound fielder. Peavy knocks down the 3. And Georgetown's built up a... This is the floater. And here comes the aforementioned Mack. (15-0) Georgetown run. Almost 8 minutes into the second half. Peavy again. Why not?
Poorly executed. The pass should have been a little bit higher, but you see what their main objective is, and that's to go inside to the big fella.
Second season for Ed Cooley. Very successful run. 12 years at Providence. 7 NCAAs. Won a regular season title, a tournament title. Peavy, nice running. A little flip shot there, Mike. Good left-handed player right here. Rosenberger in trouble. Jump hook. Went to a strong hand. Couldn't complete it. Peavy back the other way. A step back. Got it. Boy, good rhythm too. Micah Peavy. Rosenberger trying to get going here. Drives it, goes to his offhand, misses, and a break for Georgetown. Mack, whoa, man, talk about the acceleration. Got it back. Open man, Peavy, 3 ball, yes. 19-9, a 10-point Georgetown lead. They're getting into the bench a little bit. Jordan Burks, an electric player, came in from Kentucky, a transfer. And Hoya, 13,000 fans on their feet most of the game. That's a shot missed by Hailefiuono. Gets it back. Oh, good look. Dunk.
At the three-point line, someone's got to come over weak side and give him a little bit of help.
Rosenberger really showing some good stuff. Missed his first 4 shots. Didn't pout, didn't panic. Good cut. Down low. And finishing off the play is Mike.
You know, I think the Hoyas temporarily, Dave, have forgotten how they got jump-started this half. And that was going inside to Sorber, who the Red Flash had absolutely no answer for. They need to go back to that.
Sorber just knocked down Cranston. And a 3 ball.
Of course, we know they're being patient on offense, but defensively, they're mixing up their defenses. Right now, they just shifted to a nice zone. The Hoyas caught them off guard temporarily, trying to figure it out.
Rebound by Fielder. Peavy works his way free and hits.
You know, every time.
Google. It's academic now. He's fishing out the clock here. Lead by a dozen. Sorber. Peavy throws it up and it goes. It's been that kind of. Back, boys, got great change of pace. Peavy staying high.
Again, William Mount, assistant head coach for Jamie Christian, 2013 to 2016. How about that Georgetown defense early?
Georgetown didn't defend with enough energy last game. As Cooley said, they're bringing the energy by trapping a little bit early in the game.
Here's Peavy for 3. Wide open look out of the corner. Way back. No on the 3. In transition, rise.
Mount St. Mary's trying to pick up with a little pressure of their own, try to force a little bit of turnovers on Georgetown so they can get some easy buckets.
Donnie Lind is used to the mayhem he used to run with Jamie and Christian back when he was an assistant. And could see that in doses for the now. Here's Peavy again, and he's 1-point shot.
At all times.
Especially as a first-year head coach, you got to think that eases the tension a bit. Already quality minutes tonight off the bench for Georgetown, as Ed Cooley projected. Mack
Off the screen. Finagling inside. 5 to shoot. Here's Peavy. Milestone for Micah with the
Burks into those right spots and use his athleticism.
Now here's Micah Peavy, the TCU transfer. Knocks it down.
About just his team finding balance, and balance comes when you put your star on the bench and you continue to score the ball and play the right way.
Sorber fighting for positioning. Now he gets it. They double. That double came right away. Peavy.
But here's 5 of 17. And that's pretty much been what's happened to Georgetown. They missed some easy ones, open ones, and then Notre Dame pays it off at the other end. Points a game, that's what you have to do. You bring that back, you don't have to play games in the mud. You play them beautifully like they did today.
They practice with a 24-second shot clock.
Good early shot, transition from Fairfield.
Ed does think his team offensively will settle in and settle itself today. He said one of the key emphasis for him during the course of the entire of the preseason and into the early season has been his team's defensive play.
And both teams are trying to find an identity. Really good screen-to-screener action to get Sorber the layup.
And now quick hands on the outside. Peavy on the run.
Talking about defense, 4-foot layup. Scramble for the basketball. Sparks opportunistic, got it, laid it up on the other end.
Up on top, and that one is good.
Freshman for freshman swap in terms of big men. And another junior. They hit 2 threes their entire first game of the season at Northwestern. And they've already got 4. Little runner there from Micah Peavy. I don't see too many head coaches with a doctorate. Talked to him about that earlier today. Get to that later on. As Sorber's back into the game for Georgetown, dishes it off for Peavy. Step back. Oh, that's pretty. Man, that close to the rim, that short of a pass, that deep inside.
Especially when you're a little bit undersized as well, and you run into the bigs down there. Sometimes it gets a little crowded. Everything's moving real fast. Kind of a blur.
Epps to Peavy. Another step back. He's comfortable with that. Freshman out of Quebec. Whitney Sidney, the floater. A rebound for Peavy. Gonna take it the length of the floor and get it to go. Georgetown back. And Cooley barking out signals here as Georgetown has a 1-point lead as we approach the 1-minute mark. Peavy feeling it. Now up to 16. Van Osman. He'll fade away and get nothing. Peavy, another spin move and another lay-in. Sorber getting tons of touches here in the second half. Get another one here outside and it'll feed Peavy.